Hi, Kristie Carter here with Carter & Company and the new Slow Video magazine, and we're in San Luis Obispo, California at Luna Red. And I'm sitting here with a local entrepreneur who owns Slow Cal Roots, and he has been instrumental in the new county ordinances for cannabis cultivation.
Hi, I'm Austin Canella. I own Slow Cal Roots Farm, a local family-run cannabis cultivation operation. The county's been discussing the new proposed regulations today and have taken some different directions than we previously thought they were. They've made the decision to ban medical and recreational storefront dispensaries in the county and are looking to limit the number of outdoor grow operations in the county to the number of pre-registered grows under the urgency ordinance. I'm here with Justin, Sean, and Lauren, three other local cultivators. We all have local businesses that will be affected by the new ordinance, and we hope that we can continue to comply and operate in the county. The storefronts have been allowed in this county for over 10 years, medical dispensaries, but thus far the county hasn't approved any of the applications. Some of their concerns were availability to children and the public view of storefront. I think they're trying to keep it out of sight, out of mind. Currently that would push it only into delivery services, which can take place anywhere in the county, parking lots, homes, in or around where children are present, and instead of having hundreds of drivers performing deliveries all over the county, we feel the county should allow for a couple storefronts that can be closely monitored and regulated. Currently, a lot of delivery services can operate from over county lines and whatnot, and there's little oversight or regulation. A storefront would provide tax revenues for the county, whereas if there's delivery services operating out of a local city, those taxes will then go to the city instead of the county.
My name is Sean Despay. I'm a local cultivator in San Luis Obispo. There are several arguments going on in the county right now about whether cannabis is medicinal. I feel, there's a lot of studies showing how it helps with ADHD, it helps with Parkinson's, it helps with seizures. It's completely proven, and one of the arguments is that the cannabinoids attach to cannabis receptors in your brain, and it gives a more clear path for thought process. This is why most of my friends who've smoked can attest that it helps with their focus, it helps with their creativity. It's not inhibiting their thought process at all. And what we also talked about is how it's getting into schools. When I was a kid, I didn't get alcohol from a liquor store. I got it from my parents. I didn't buy cannabis from a dispensary. I got it from my friends, my parents. It was in school, and I think that's kind of a good argument, is this, creating these laws, creating dispensaries. It's not going to promote cannabis at all. I mean, that's going to come at your house. Like, your parents are going to teach you what you do. If they drink, you're probably going to end up drinking. If they smoke cannabis, you're probably going to end up smoking cannabis. And having a storefront isn't going to affect kids in high school. I got my cannabis in high school this is 1994. That's where I bought cannabis, was from my high school. Probably would have been different if it was regulated more and there was a storefront to buy it from. It wouldn't be a black market, and so it would be less available to children. And that's, how I feel about that.
I'm Lauren Wolf. I'm a local cultivator. The arguments against, children using cannabis in high school and the negative effects it could have on the brain developing to the age of 25, I do agree with that in most aspects, but in my personal experience, I use cannabis and I saw accelerated performance in my athletics and in other areas of my life. It allowed me to focus more. Easy to stay too focused, and when I use cannabis, it actually increases my drive in the areas that I'm passionate about. It's been an extreme aid to me in my development throughout the years in business and personal aspects. So I don't see any negative effects with it, with people in high school using it, as long as maybe it's under the correct supervision. And with cannabis, it allows operators to do so many things, with the opportunities to give back to our communities and to invest in our community. There was another individual, and they found the ability to use a little bit of their capital to invest in. They brought back the butterfly population within that area. Things that cannabis companies are starting to do, we're realizing there's a reduction in opioid use in areas where cannabis is. We're also finding the operators who are operating these areas are cleaning up their town, cleaning up their streets, and keeping their properties nice and taking pride in what they do. So locally, we're excited to have that opportunity to show how much we care about our community and how much we appreciate having the right to operate locally.
Hi, I'm Justin with Paramount Farms and 805 Top Shelf. I was born and raised here on the Central Coast, and I'm here to talk about how San Luis Obispo County is wanting to ban edibles in the county, but the state's issuing labeling and marketing efforts towards how it will be safe for childs and have all the proper labeling and testing and dosages. With this being prevalent, I don't see a reason for edibles being available to the patients. So edibles are the only way to keep the anti-inflammatory properties intact with the medicine itself, because as you burn it off, you get rid of those properties, so edibles will be the only way to keep the medicine still available for the patients. And also, a lot of patients can't smoke the medicine themselves, so they have to ingest it by eating it, and that'd be their only option.
One of our concerns is the county's decision to limit outdoor growing and push a lot of these cultivators to grow indoors or inside greenhouses. Growing cannabis outside is far more environmentally friendly than growing cannabis inside. And just like wine grapes, cannabis comes out different depending on which region it's grown in. We happen to live in one of the best areas in the world for growing both of these plants. And when you grow cannabis outside, you get a higher yield, you get a better product because the plant's getting the full spectrum of sunlight as opposed to artificial lighting inside or inside of a greenhouse. We educate our daughter just like any parent would about alcohol or tobacco, that and especially since cannabis is a medicine, we refer to it as medicine in our house, and she understands that it's something for only adults to use, but at the same time she has a respect for the plant.
My name is Nico Pichon. I own Slow Droco. We're a local delivery service here in San Luis Obispo. So there's a lot of great ways we've been benefiting the county. We actually opened with the idea to start a professional, timely, and always reliable delivery service that when we actually opened up in Slow, it kind of blew up. People is really what they were searching for. So since then, we've actually been able to add a lot of employees to our ranks. We actually hire over 15 local operators who would not have the opportunity or not have the ability to work in the industry if it weren't for us. Not only that, but we pay our taxes to the Board of Equalization every quarter, and definitely benefiting all the cities in the county. As a Cal Poly student, there's always been a negative connotation to cannabis, especially on campus, or cannabis use with students, as the poor students who do it, or students who don't do so well, tend to consume cannabis, and that is not the case. And that is what I've set out to prove, is that we can consume cannabis, as well as be proactive and productive on our daily basis, and do well in school, do extracurricular activities, and at the end of the day consume cannabis and still be productive members of society.